أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا، اللهم زدنا علما وارزقنا فهما يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. After we praise the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, peace and blessings unto our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his families, friends and all those who follow him. My respected brothers and sisters, yes, we are in the months of Hajj. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, Al-Hajju Ashhurun Ma'lumat. The Hajj month is a number of months. So we are in that month which started immediately after the month of Ramadan, mashallah. And allow me to say that we all know that the Hajj is a pillar of Islam. But if we see the hadith of Nabi Muhammad salawatullahi alayhi, that he mentioned the Hajj as the last pillar of Islam, the fifth pillar of Islam. Now why? And this is where we want to focus on and start of the series. We find that all ibadats, if we look at it, it's all about bringing people together. That's the nature of Allah's ibadats, bringing people together. And if we look for an example, how we find all the other four pillars, that concept in the Hajj, we could see and we can see, my humble submission is demonstrating the greatness of this ibadah of Hajj. Let us see. We see the first pillar is all about the Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Nabi says, Bunya al-Islamu ala khams. Islam is built on 5 pillars. Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah, to be a testimony that there is no other ilah to worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, wa iqamu salah, establish salah, wa ita zakat, to give zakat. Wa sawmu Ramadan, which we fast the month of Ramadan, and of course, Al-Hajj bayt man istata'a ilayhi sabila, whoever is capable in performing the Hajj. But if we see the Hajj, as we have said, it's all about bringing people together. Now look to the first pillar, is the testimony that there is no other ilah to worship except Allah. When we put on that ihram, what do we say and what is the sunnah to do immediately after we have put on ihram? Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. Here I am, O Allah, here I am. Answering the call which Allah has instructed Nabi Ibrahim to call, وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ. Call mankind to Hajj. You, my beloved Haji, has answered this call. Hence you say, Labbaik Allahu, here I am, O Allah, here I am. That concept of Iyyaka na'budu, thee alone do we worship, you implement here. So Tawheed, wa iqamu salah, establish salah. We find a lot is mentioned when we are on travel and on Hajj. We make qasr salah, jam salah. After tawaf, we make 2 rak'ats. On Arafah, we find jam salah, qasr salah. Subhanallah. Everywhere on the travel, we speak about salah. Even in the haram, when we are in the haram, we do not make qasr. We make the full 4 rak'ats from Dhuhr and Isha and Asr. Subhanallah. But all is connected to salah, which means within Hajj is also the concept of salah. When you put on your ihram, The sunnah is to make 2 rak'ats for the ihram, sunnat al-ihram. So salah is mentioned within hajj, zakat, the concept of it. To implement zakah, you got to depart with wealth. Give it to the lesser fortunate or those who deserve it, according to hadith, according to Quran. So to implement the hajj, you have to depart with wealth. You have to buy whatever packages is available for hajj. So it is found the concept is there. Fasting also. فَمَنْ لَمْ يَجِدْ فَصِيَامُ ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامِ فِي الْحَجِّ. Now here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَمَنْ لَمْ يَجِدْ, who cannot find 2 things. 1, does not have the necessarily wealth to buy a sheep for a dam. Or he cannot find perhaps a sheep to slaughter for the dam or whatever. Then Allah say, if you can't find it, فَصِيَامُ ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامِ, then you fast 3 days. Where? In hajj, while you're on hajj. Subhanallah. وَسَبَعَةٍ إِذَا رَجَعْتُمْ, 7 days. When you come back home, you do the other 7 days. So you fast 10 days basically. So we find that concept is there in hajj. Now if we look at that, we find that hajj brought together all the concepts of the other 4 pillars. Like we see that hajj has brought the people together. وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ, declare to mankind the hajj. What will you find? يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالٍ عَلَى كُلِّ دَامِنٍ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. You'll find people will come from every deep ravine, from every part of the world, in whatever means of transport. Subhanallah. Isn't this what we experience? Imagine the time of Nabi Ibrahim. He called that. He did that calling. So here we find that as the pillars was brought to my humble submission in all into the hajj, the concept, bringing them together, so the hajj bring people together. Hence we find here, when you do this, the hajj, when you start leaving, you are the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we will speak later about that. And here, I would like to say, if we look, when we leave our homes, what is there for you as a person that leave his house to perform the hajj or an umrah for that matter? But here the focus is on hajj. Subhanallah. If we look how the Almighty has structured it, and when I say structure, how the Nabi and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has structured it in such a way, every step that you take, coming closer to the Baytullah, coming closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He attached forgiveness to it. To you, the person that is going for hajj. Therefore, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, هذا البيت دعامة الإسلام. This house forms a basis of Islam. The Baytullah, the Kaaba, is a basis of Islam. As we see it brought the world together. And by the way, also when we make our salah, our direction is in the direction of the Kaaba. So we are, every day our focus is there. Da'amatul Islam is a basic fundamental of Islam. That we are on a regular basis, daily, we face that direction. Then the Nabi salawatullahi alayhi says further, Man yakhruju min baytihi, whoever leaves his house or her house, yatlubu hadha al-bayt, seeking and going into the direction of this Baytullah, Hajj or Mu'tamar, whether you perform the Hajj or perform the Umrah, what shall be for you? Ya Rab, look how fortunate you are that has been afforded the opportunity here The Nabi says, who leaves his house, he didn't reach yet. His intention is to go and perform the hajj or umrah. كان مضمونا على الله أن يدخل الجنة. It is then where Allah guarantees that person that Allah will let him into Jannah or her. Ya Rab, look at that. You are only leaving the house yet. And that intention is then where Allah guarantees that you will be going to Jannah, mashallah. Because that honor, my humble submission, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is attached to that ibadah known as hajj, that you become then the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You become then where Allah is hosting you. Subhanallah, what an honor. We can only ask the Almighty Allah to grant us all that honor one also. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the travel for the Hujjaj easy. May Allah accept all the ibadat, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us, forgive our parents, and grant all Hujjaj a Hajj Maqbool, inshallah. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.